Guys, what's going on? My name is Lewis, and God bless to every single one of you. Today is February 14, 2026, and welcome to the Real GS News Channel. Guys, we have an urgent breaking news coming out. City prepares for multi-day storm, urges residents to prepare. All right, so we're going to see what's going on here, guys. Once again, this is going to happen, I think, starting Sunday. So you still have time to prepare. They're talking about massive flooding that could hit multiple regions. And you guys already know the floods, it's no joke. And last year, Texas, the Guadalupe River, that was some serious stuff. But again, we're going to see what's going on with this one here. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Guys, for those of you that want to help and support the channel, Patreon is a way to support the channel. $5 a month, we get you access to our live stream. We go live once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. I post some videos today if you guys want to check it out. Thank you again for your support. And thank you for your support on Cash App and also PayPal. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. All right, so it says here, with heavy rain expected to move into the region beginning Monday and lasting through Thursday, the city of San Diego announced crews are ramping up preparation to reduce the risk of flooding across the city. And I just posted a video not too long ago, Oregon. I mean, you got some stuff going on in Oregon. It seems like a lot of people are being told to leave their homes because of the situation going on there with the floods. So it says here, city officials say storm teams will be monitoring river levels, storm channels, and more than 46,000 storm drains during the raining stretch. Crews have been cleaning drains and inlets known for debris buildup, as well as sweeping streets to prevent trash and pollutants from washing into local waterways. So that's the thing that we're dealing here in Florida. The drain is like completely, you got trash and everything, so they have to clean that up in order for the water to get through. If not, it's going to be a lot of floods going on. So low-lying areas such as Mission Valley, Sorrento Valley, and South Crest identified by FEMA as special flood hazard areas are especially vulnerable during the extended rain events. Now, city officials say roads in flood-prone areas may be closed if needed, and rivers are urged to avoid those areas during heavy rainfall. The city's stormwater department has also cleared tons of debris and vegetation from storm channels in recent months, including ongoing maintenance along Cholas Creek. Officials say staff will continue monitoring those areas throughout the storm and conduct additional maintenance once the weather clears. Preparing for potential flooding is part of the city's responsibility year-round, says Stormwater Department Director Todd. Our crews are working to make sure our stormwater systems are ready, and we encourage residents to take a few simple steps now to prepare for the rain. So they're saying that this storm is going to happen tomorrow, and people need to start preparing and, you know, make sure that you and your family are prepared. How residents can prepare. City leaders are asking San Diegans to take several simple steps to help reduce flooding near their homes, including sweep and remove trash, leaves, and debris around storm drains and gutters. Securely close trash and recycling bin lids and place bins 2 to 3 feet away from the curb to avoid blocking storm water flow. Turn off irrigation system to conserve water and minimize runoff. Never open or lift manhole covers during street flooding. Emergency responders also remind residents to know the safest routes to and from their homes in case flooding occurs, and to never drive, ride, or walk through flood waters. We are praying for the people out there. We are. So sandbags available. Sandbags are available in limited quantities at 11 recreation centers across the city, with a limit of 10 bags per household or business. Sand is not provided, and residents are encouraged to purchase sand from local hardware or landscape supply stores. That's what we do here in Florida. Whenever there's like the hurricane season, we stock up on sandbags, and it's brutal. It is. Hurricane season is something that a lot of us don't want to face, and insurance has skyrocketed. So again, I live in the state of Florida. My home, the roof was completely torn apart, shingles everywhere, and I had to call the company, and they came, replaced the plywood. There was like multiple plywood damaged, and that cost like around $14,000. And this is why it's very important to make sure you have insurance. Make sure you have insurance. And I think California, they have earthquake insurance and stuff like that. You need those insurance. All right, so it says here, location include. Now, these are the location that sells the sandbags. I'm just going to skip all this part here. Sandbags are available during normal recreation center hours. Now, guys, I want to show you something else here. All right, so we're going to jump with the next news. The San Francisco Chronicle is putting out this information. The Bay Area cities plan for sea level rise, could abandon businesses along the waterfront. This is being posted today, so man, this is not looking good. And I just posted a video about Oregon. Now I want to show you something really quick here. So I want to show you this one here. So specific localized evacuation are currently active in Oregon, including a level 3 go now order for hazardous materials emergency in Clackamas County as of February 4, 2026. Other areas may have lower level active or lifted warnings based on localized hazards such as landslides or wildfire, but there's some evacuation going on. Certain areas, they're telling people to leave. And now we got this news about a storm coming, and now we're going to get to this one here. San Francisco Bay cities plan for sea level rise, could abandon businesses. Stuff like this happens all the time in Florida. I used to live near the sponge docks out there in Tarpon Springs, Florida. And if you guys been to Tarpon Spring, you guys know that's a beautiful area. The food out there is amazing. It is. It's like a Greek area and the sponge dock. So whenever there's a hurricane, all those areas get flooded. I mean, it's just worse than that. All right, so it says here the restaurant on a spit of land stretching into the bay serves up petrel, sole, and panoramic views. But during January record high king tides, waves block. Give me a second here, guys. I can't see these words. Here we go. So waves blocked the entrance. The decades-old Sausalito institution became an island that only pelicans could visit. Okay, and a symbol of the existential threat facing the town's waterfront. Just months before, Sausalito had published a new sea level rise adaptation plan. The plan, still in draft form, was full of maps depicting the restaurant, the Spinnaker, and other landmarks underwater in the coming decades. It even suggested that some of the places, including the Spinnaker and other restaurants, as well as boatyards, art studios, and other businesses along its business waterfront, might not be worth saving from the rising waters. Truly apologize about some of these words. But these businesses, it seems like they might go somewhere else. And I did mention that we are seeing a shift. We are seeing something here, guys. I never seen so much emergency preparation being put out there to millions of residents, Missouri and California, all these states that's seen some kind of rise of imminent events like earthquake, the big one, the New Madrid, and the sea level rising. So a lot of warnings are being put out. We were floored, said Jeff, general manager and partner at the Spinnaker. The restaurant ultimately did not sustain damage in January because it sits on pilings that kept it above the water on city-owned land. And here's the thing, guys. I see a lot. People build their houses on top of these water. They have like all that type of stuff being built on water, but it's not a good idea. Man, it's not a good idea. Excuse me. I've seen videos from last year in North Carolina. A lot of these houses built on top of water just completely collapsed, and the sea just took over. They just completely took them homes like nothing. It says here, but because the flooding will worsen, the report recommended the city elevate, rebuild, or abandon it, and consider converting the existing land area to tidal habitat. That's not happening. We've been here 65 years. We'll be here another 65 years, one person said. The Sausalito City Council put the plan on hold until planners incorporate more input from the Scawosh and the other waterfront business owners who strongly objected to it. Now, they said the consultant who prepared the plan did not seek their input and derated what Scawosh calls their Jetsons approach. Futuristic ideas like replacing part of the busy harbor, much of it family-owned for generations, with floating structures. Alright, so I'm just going to skip the rest of this, but a lot of them seems like they're going to stay. You see stuff like that being built on top of water. Again, a lot of that stuff, man, you got so many pelicans. A lot of that stuff is also being built here in Florida. And again, like I say, guys, it's not a good idea to be building stuff like that, especially homes. Now, I used to go fishing at Safety Harbor, and there was this long pier, and man, I used to take my family there fishing. That pier is gone. That hurricane just came and just took that beautiful pier. I mean, it was beautiful. And Safety Harbor, if you guys been to Safety Harbor, it's beautiful out there. But yeah, we went to fishing, and what's the pier? And people was like, oh, the hurricane took that thing. So it was just brutal. Very sad. Here's some of the pictures. I'm going to show you some of these pictures here, guys. Wow. Yeah, that doesn't look good. I like the Smoky Mountain in the back. But yeah, that water rising, that doesn't look good. Look at this one here. This is a warning sign. Look at this picture. See, those houses is being built. Again, you come here to Florida and like Safety Harbor. I know a lot of people that live like in those areas, and it's beautiful. It is. It's really beautiful, like the summer and going there, like the beach and stuff like that. But I know a lot of people out there selling their homes because every year it's just getting hit by hurricanes, and you see stuff like this, and it's just year after year. There's always a hurricane. Last year we didn't get hit by a hurricane, so that was amazing. We give thanks to the Lord for that. But I know a lot of people that's selling their homes. A lot of them are selling their homes. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to end it here. But again, please prepare yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally. I heard something about the state of Florida is also going to get hit by some kind of storm. Give me a second here. Let me just pull up that information really quick. I think it was Hey Y'all. He put out the information. Oh, it's Ryan Hall. Give me a second here, guys. I think I see it right here. Yep. Ooh. Alright, that doesn't look good. Big shout out to Ryan. Severe weather targets Florida and southern Georgia this Sunday. Tomorrow. Wow. Ooh, it seems like it's going to be strong winds and tornadoes from Jacksonville to Valdosta. The main danger window is afternoon through evening. Have a safety plan ready and keep your weather alerts tuned up loud. So I live in Florida, and boy, yeah, I live in this region right here. Right there in that region. So I'm going to have to prepare just in case. Alright guys, so I'm going to end the video here, but again, like, subscribe, and share. Please prepare yourself spiritually, physically, and mentally. Again, thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream. We go live once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching, guys. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.